What's up, y'all? This is Miss Devoted Tiff back again to bring you my commentary on this episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, talking about episode 4. This episode starts out Cynthia and her daughter playing tennis. Cynthia was horrible, doing rocket kicks, trying to dodge them balls. But it comes up her daughter talking about going to college, and of course, she trying to get away from that mama and the drama. She said she want to look for schools in LA. Her dad, Leon, the actor, stays out there. And so then, of course, Cynthia's like, I might have to look for some apartments out there. Her daughter was like, not necessary. Code for, Mama, I'm picking this school to get away from you. But then I was like, can you imagine if Cynthia was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Child, that would be a hot mess. So while they're talking about LA, Cynthia's saying she has to go out there. She wants her daughter to come with her because she got another project. She like Miss Phaedra Park. She got Jobs with an S. And now, since her eyewear is doing so good, she's ready to launch a handbag line called Cargo. And her daughter is still trying to figure out what the heck she wants to do. So she said, hey, why not be the face of this brand? And her daughter's down for it, so family's going out to LA. Then we go over to Sheree. Sheree's at her 3-bedroom condo. The backstory on that, of course, is Bob in the divorce agreement was supposed to take care of their house and pay the bills. He didn't. They had to move, so she ended up in the 3-bedroom with her kids. And we get some Cairo footage. You know how I feel about Cairo. I'm trying to make me a puma. He's looking as delicious as ever. And so he comes in, eating her out of house or home. She complaining about the grocery bill. Look, if you don't want to feed Cairo, just send him my way. I will buy him some groceries. Not a problem, okay? Her daughter also is in the scene, and she tells them, thank y'all for your patience. But now the house is ready. That was the most underwhelming response. It was like crickets, blank stares. I guess they like us. They not gonna believe it until they see it. Carl was like, well, I ain't really gonna be there. And so then the daughter asked about Bob. She called her dad Bob. She said, so what about Bobby? And her mom was like, he not gonna be in there. And the daughter, she did make a good point. She's like, well, at least, he's somebody that we know. And her mama was quick to remind her that her daddy had done some things. I don't know how I feel about that, talking down against the dad. But then again, they are a little older, and it's not like they don't know that the dad has not been there for them until these last few years. He's trying to step his game up. But she killed her daughter's dreams real fast. So then we head over to Kandi. She's trying to drop off Ace to her mom's. But Kandi clearly gets her seriousness about coins from her mama, because her mama was like, trying to get paid to watch her own grandchild. Like, man, if I ever have kids, I wish my mama would. Especially when she just bought her a house. Which, of course, they start talking about Block, which I guess is Kandi's storyline this season. And Mama Joyce is like, he need to pay you those $50,000 he owe. And Kandi was saying how she's been tempted to call into the radio when he be on there talking about $1 Million Man. Get this, she say, oh, I just can't see myself doing that. I can't see myself calling him out, calling into the radio. But what are you doing right now? Oh, I don't want to shout him out to Atlanta on the Atlanta radio station, but I don't mind shouting him out to the millions of viewers on Bravo, because that makes a lot of sense. So then we have the second awkward meetup with Kenya and Phaedra. And I'm like, how weird is that? Because you and Fricker frack, and you already know how Kenya feels and acts about her, and she just kicked her out of her house with you, and now you meeting up with her again. They just throwing shade back and forth, mostly Kenya though, throwing shade against Portia. But at least Phaedra don't laugh at all. She stick up for her friend, which is cool. And apparently Phaedra has a foundation called Phaedra's Foundation. And she had been doing things with Flint, and so since Kenya is from Detroit, and as Phaedra put it, she's missed somebody important. I really am gonna have to use that one. She wanted to reach out to her about being a part of it. So here comes our next get together with the girls, and the next moment of drama, Phaedra's gonna invite all the girls for another activity. And that's going to be to get them to help out with a fundraiser for the event. Now, I will give it to Phaedra. As much as they all are about their coins and she can be Shadra, I think out of all the girls, I hear about her doing community service the most. So then we cut over to Sheree, and I guess she got a little date with Bob. She looking real good in coral. You know, Sheree gonna stay snatched, Miss Trainer. And then we cut over to Bob, looking like a bum on the side of the road with a frumpy gray shirt. And Twitter was going crazy, talking about he looked like he got titties. Hey, I got nothing to do with that. But once he see her step out the car, he's like, oh, let me make sure I look good, honey. Ain't no fixing that gray shirt. Just let it be. It's too late now. Either go home or just let it be. But ain't no fixing what you got on, okay? And Sheree was like, I thought when you said let's go out to dinner, this is what you get. And hey, I'm with her. Like, if I'm going out to dinner, I'm going to try to be cute. And if you asking me out, you already know how I come to play. So you need to step up to the plate too. So he takes her to a cafeteria. I guess it's a healthy place because he knows Sheree likes to eat healthy. They got these cafeteria cups with green straws. Like, she looks so out of place. And then he gonna go to the menu for the place and ask if they have bacon. Bruh. So then they get to talking. And he's saying now he wants to do better. And she's like, well, first you need to acknowledge what you've done. Ain't nothing like people that want to move on without apologizing for what they did. Moving on is nice, but you at least need to acknowledge what we moving on from. And so he, apologizes, which is good. It seemed like he really wants to try. I don't blame Sheree for being a little trepidatious. But then they end up doing what I would have done, left and go find a fried chicken place. He trying to get her back to the house first, talking about, I want to get next to the glitter, because he was commenting on the glitter on her décolletage. So then we go to the scene with Phaedra's event with the girls. And looks like it's laser tag. Everybody come in one by one. Even Kandi shows up. So that was what's up. I hope they stay on good terms. And then we see Kenya riding in the car with Mallory. Those two of all people, like, those are the two shadiest girls of the bunch. Well, then they come in and get started. So Sheree is everywhere Kenya goes, trying to shoot her like it's a real shooting, trying to take her aggression out on what happened. I could just do this. I don't even have to pay to get my anger management classes. We go back over to Cynthia, and she is at her eyewear event in LA. And she is at her cargo launch in LA. And you can tell she is very happy to see Leon, since he stays out there. He gonna come support the fam. She get in there. Her daughter is like glued to the phone. Like, the phone is like this. Like, in every shot. You a spokesperson, boo. You gotta be moving around, working the room. Her mom was working the room more than she was. So eventually, she's like, hey, you need to put down your phone, do your job. So then we go back over to the event, with Phaedra. And they're all sitting down afterwards. And that's when she tells them why they're all together. And, tries to get their support and goes around the room, say, hey, pop-up shop, boom, you sell this, come bring that, boom, bring that. And then she says, well, Sheree, can y'all get along? And let me tell you, if it was a marathon, they would have won, because they sat at the table and read each other back and forth, punch for punch, pound for pound. Seemed like forever. Just about the house, who caught each other beef first, just everything. It got to the point that the other side of the table started eating because that's how long they was at it. And then Kenya, with her controlling self, gonna say, we're trying to have a conversation here. Y'all eating like she ain't nobody mama. Nobody's. Thank goodness. So hush. So then finally the arguing stops. They agreed to make nice for the event. But not before she actually come for Mama Joyce in front of Kandi, when she know Kandi is miss. Ain't nobody gonna talk about my mom. Ain't nobody gonna talk about my mom. She can talk about everybody else, but ain't nobody gonna talk about my mom. So she say that Sheree has on a Mama Joyce wig, and Kandi is like, she stopped eating for that. She's like, what? And we back over to Cynthia in LA. They all sitting down having a nice little family dinner. And then her daughter, Noelle, ends up going away, and it's just her and Leon at the table. And she ends up telling him about the divorce and how she's worried about them being friends. She breaks down and cries. And it's just like, just the chemistry between her and Leon, you could just feel it through the screen. Like, he seemed like he is so supportive and so just calms her and centers her. Because even while she's crying, he's trying to like cheer her up and just really soothing. And she was like, I want to go back to the hotel now. Now, if you could take it one way is I want to go back to the hotel and you comfort me. But I don't think that's how she meant it. But who knows? He says, you know, I love you. My prediction is that they are going to reconnect, because I think maybe at the time that they had Noel, they was young, he was immature, but he clearly still thinks she's beautiful. He clearly likes being around. And I think now once they get divorced, that might be his chance, like their second time around, to make things right again. That's just my prediction. So let's just stay tuned. So then we get back over to Kandi. She's taking her mom to get a pedicure. And surprisingly, while she's in the car, Block calls. And he's like, you know, I want to meet up with you. You know, I want to start co-parenting. And you would think Kandi would be happy about that, right? Mama Joyce on the side talking about basically he needs to pay the money first before he can start to co-parent. And then Kandi is like, it's a little too old. She's a little too old for that. And so in my head, I'm like, what do you want? First you were upset when he wasn't reaching out. Now he's trying to reach out and you're saying it's too late. Like, that's kind of like mixed signals, because if there's an opportunity to get things together with a dad and a daughter, it don't matter what age. I mean, I'm 33 and me and my dad had a rough spot and we're back on good terms. I don't care that I'm 33. So I'm sure a 14-year-old, if there's a chance, it needs to happen, because she still got high school to go through. She still got college, marriage, all these things. Like, it's not like she's 55 and he's saying he wants to co-parent. So it shouldn't be such a crazy thing. Of course, she goes off on him because he says, like he said the other episode, I'm not finna chase. I'm guessing what he means by that is when he reaches out and she don't reach back, because when he would have a chance, he would stand him up, so the daughter was like, bump it. So I guess after she don't reach back out, he just gives up. But I see what Kandi is saying, like, because of what you did, you still need to chase her. You just gonna have to keep chasing her. So that conversation ends in tears, of course. And the mama don't even seem to care that she's crying and upset or what the conversation's about. She just like, well, he don't have to be around. He could just send the money downtown like the other dads do. Lord. I really can't with Mama Joyce. I'm not even gonna get into it, honey, with y'all tonight. But that's basically how the episode ended up. And we got the previews for next week. It's a little freaky scene with Todd and Kandi, Miss Bedroom Kandi herself. She pulling an old Lisa Wu with that one. And so I guess that is it. Thank y'all for rocking with me my 4th week. Let me know what you think about what happened. I can't wait to hear from y'all. And y'all have a good night.